Welcome back to Balan fucking world. I'm already tired of this game.
Chapter 6 is one of the better received chapters of this game, but it has some weird stuff to it. That being said, this character for Chapter 6 is called Cassandra. And believe it or not,
Chapter 6, the girl and the kitten.
She's actually one of the more important characters in the novel because, well, the game doesn't explain it. She actually shows up in more than just this chapter. You wouldn't know this by, just playing the game, but believe it or not, she factors into multiple chapters, which reveals that, well, time travel is at hand. You'll see what I mean.
Because that's what this game needed, time travel.
Basically, Deads, this character shows up in another world.
Hey, look!
However...
Cat plushie.
Aw.
No.
Well, she was.
They're soulless.
Now it's time to ask. Maybe Naka thinks you like giant kitty plushies.
I mean, won't you?
True. I do like giant plushies, actually. To be fair, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And now a new outfit, the Gear Prince.
Get it?
This grinds my gears.
Yes, allows the wearer to stick to gear switches. By that I mean do this. Hold on. Basically, you spin the gear and you open doors, or levitate platforms, or do some kind of thing. That's all it does.
This is the most mundane power-up in the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's so boring.
They didn't even bother to animate the cog on your character spinning, so they just make you glow to obscure it. But look at that!
Yes, this was the final level of the demo.
This is where you get the Rayman power-up.
All right, let's keep going.
You guys can't hear my fan, can you?
No.
I'll admit, this world actually does look pretty nice.
Yeah, that's again. This is the thing. For as mundane as the actual in-game textures are, the art direction is what really saves it though. Because like I said at the beginning of this playthrough, Oshima's art direction is still on point.
Like I've said, some levels are a bit better crafted artistically than others, and notably so. Like I've said, World 2 doesn't really explain the story well. It's just you're under the sea.
Oh, well, I know. Well, I know that. I'm just talking about the art direction specifically, not the in-game graphics. Like, because the actual overall artistic direction, like for example, the overall thematic of clocks. Like again, plenty of 3D platformers have had levels like this. And yeah, when in the hands of a great art director, this can look pretty cool, and in this case, it does. Same thing with the first level, the corn level. Like that level looks really good from an art direction standpoint. It's just that, like we've talked about, the in-game textures don't really give Oshima's art justice.
Not only that, but like I mentioned though, some of the level theming does not always work as well.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Yeah, sure, Under the Sea and all in Chapter 2, but I feel like they could have maybe represented the fact that girl nearly drowned by having you go deeper and deeper with each level. No such bout here and there. Also, like I said, some levels just look better artistically altogether, where some seem kind of bland.
I'm still convinced that Yuji Naka made the game and just picked random level tropes from a hat, and then only later, at being strong-armed by executives at Square Enix, did he finally, begrudgingly offered like minimum bare context for them.
It just annoys me because I really wanted him to make a good game. Just make one more good game before you leave. I know there are plenty of issues with him, but I know the obvious one is 06 development. Granted, I feel like that has to do more with Sega's management than anything, but
let me just explain my annoyance with it. I've always hated how people have seen Naka as the Saint. Again, it's like they're ignoring the fact that this guy played an instrumental part in 06. Really turned out to be a mess. Like
okay. If one guy was able to convince a whole bunch of people to leave the company,
Jova wasn't done yet.
Okay.
Yeah, let Jova finish, please.
I do get the circumstances that maybe things weren't so great that he was able to convince them. But still, it was a very irresponsible thing to, just cripple that game the way he did.
Okay. if
Like,
somebody,
regardless.
okay, no, go. I'll let you finish.
Regardless of what was the occurrence here, that people try to pass him off as the same, even though, again, let's not forget, some of 06's dumb ideas were some of his doing as well, and he just walked out on that game that was, for all intents and purposes, supposed to be his baby. Like, I actually feel sorry for Shun Nakamura getting a lot of blame placed on him. Like,
Yeah, Shun
that
Nakamura
man was
wasn't
essentially made the captain of a sinking ship that Yuji Naka
and Yoshiro
kind of
Ogawa.
sank as well.
And Yoshiro
Now,
Ogawa,
yes.
yeah.
Now, yes, I acknowledge it was not all Naka's fault. And
No,
yes,
no,
some
no,
of
it
the
was-
circumstances were bad, but I will forever believe that Naka handled that irresponsibly.
Yes.
And I do feel like 06 would have been much less of a mess if he hadn't just left it like that.
Yeah, the thing is...
but
Go ahead,
say,
Edge.
but say that you're working in a bad position, and a lot of people aren't really happy with their position with how they're being treated. You're saying that they should just stay there and finish the project?
Actually, Deji, that's what that's why Akihiro Hino did with Overblood 2. He wasn't happy, according to what he said years later, he wasn't happy at all working on that game, but he still wanted to finish it before he left the company, because he left the company right after, but he finished the game first, because he felt like he should at the very least finish the game first.
Let it be in no way
But we don't know the
that
difference between the two situations.
Well, here's the thing. As far as Naka has
The
told
work
us,
environments
Shiroi...
wouldn't have been as bad as each other. There would have been some differences, and we don't know what those
Well,
are.
that's the thing, Shiroi. As far as we know, all that Naka told us is that he was feeling unfulfilled because he wanted to go back to just being a programmer, not being a team boss. That's all we know. We don't know if the work conditions were bad. As
And
far
given how Naka does have a bit of a reputation as a prima donna, again, I'm not going to put entire blame on him, but I do wonder how much of this may have been him just not getting his way and throwing a fit because of it. I'm not going again.
Yeah, let's not forget what happened
People
after
left
Sonic
too,
1.
Didn't they at the same time?
But that's the thing, Shiroi.
Well-
It's a bit more also Giant Girl. But anyway, it's a bit more complicated than that, Shiroi. See, the thing is, let's not forget what Jova was saying as well. After Sonic 1, because he decided to go to the United States because he didn't because apparently he wasn't keen on Sega executives telling him some stuff about what he could do next. The thing about Nakashiro is that based on what we know, he doesn't seem to be very much of a team player. He always wants things to do.
There's a thread on Reset Era that pretty much explains everything wrong with him, and this, like, I'll just link it right here.
Sure.
there
Let me.
Huh?
Okay, it's a long history, so allow me to go through it really quick. Yes, like Deji has said, yes, Sega did not make things easier for Sonic 06's development. That being said, the bigger culprits are indeed Yoshiro Ogawa, the original director of the game, who mid-development decided, you know what, we're not going to be able to put 06 on the Wii. So instead of just canceling the Wii version, let's split the team in two and have half the team make the Wii version, and then eventually they changed it so that it became Secret Rings. And all while this was going,
It's right, man.
yeah, and Naka just stood by and allowed Yoshiro Ogawa to just completely screw up the development process of the actual main version of 06 instead of here's what, like, if Naka would have been a better boss and just told him actually no, cancel the Wii version, then I feel like Naka could have handled that game as a producer a lot better than he did, to be honest with you, because he just allowed Yoshiro Ogawa to just split the team in two. It's not like that's going to cause issues and make the project overall unfocused, and look at that, it did, because the Wii exclusive Sonic 06 version never came to be, because Yoshiro Ogawa just decided not to make it. So he split the team in two, specifically because the Wii version would require its own separate development team. But then mid-project he was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do our original project and fuck 06. And he just abandoned the 06 project altogether. And Naka just stood by letting him do that. And
don't get me wrong, I like Sonic and the Secret Rings as much as the next guy, but it cannot be denied that unfortunately contributed to how Sonic 06 turned out. And ironically enough, Sonic and the Secret Rings turned out to be an immensely better game than 06.
I don't know. I at the very least can control myself in 06 just fine.
Yeah, I
Sonic
can
and the
control
Secret
myself
Rings
in Secret
has an
Rings.
ability that allows you to control the game better.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Jo-
Deji, isn't that kind of a bad thing when you have to unlock making
Yeah.
the game
Yes.
better?
Johnny put it best in in his review. Like the fact that you have to unlock better control, that's just ridiculous.
I mean, it'd be like if in an RPG you had to unlock being able to level up your character.
It makes no sense.
I will still hold that Sonic and the Secret Rings is a better game than 06. By
I haven't
most
played either of
accounts.
them, so I'll be the judge in that in like 2 years from now.
Fine. But yeah, that's the thing, Shiroi. Combine that with the fact that that Naka apparently wasn't very much of a team player, and that's why he left Japan to go to the United States for a while there, and that's where he made 2 and 3. And the fact that like we said, like he abandoned Sega in the middle of a big Sonic project. What we do know about him, combined with the Resetera stuff that was found, that Deji linked to, that's the thing about Nakashira. Naka doesn't seem to be the best in terms of team being a team player, and he seems to be kind of a prima donna, like Jova said. That's the problem.
And it's just, I was so
Don't get me
sick
wrong.
of people constantly
I'll
trying
read
to
through all
suggest
that stuff later.
Don't get me wrong. He's a very talented programmer. I'm not taking that away from him.
The one thing I will agree with you is that the way people praise him as the savior of the franchise, like, no, he's not.
Not to mention,
it's a video games are a team effort.
not to mention that too. Not to
if
mention,
anyone was ever really the heart of things, it was honestly Azuka. That's not to say that the other guys didn't have. Hold on. When I say heart, I mean the soul. Not like Azuka was like the main guy running things. I mean like, well, people try to suggest that Naka was both the brains and the heart of it. No, Azuka was
the truth of the matter. Yeah,
I'd argue Yasuhara was.
that's the thing. That's the thing, Deji. Yasuhara hasn't worked in the Sonic games since Sonic and Knuckles. That's the thing. The thing is, Yasuhara stopped working on Sonic altogether after Sonic and Knuckles finished development. And the truth of the matter is that again, I'm by no means trying to say that I've read Yuji Naka's mind when I say this, but that's what the available evidence tells me. It really becomes very apparent that after finishing work on Sonic and Knuckles and moving on to other projects, I really get the feeling Yuji Naka's heart, it wasn't really so much into Sonic anymore. Yes, he was still producing Sonic games, but he was always more focused on other projects.
Imagine that if you have a job and you're only assigned to work on one specific project for the rest of your life.
Oh, sure, I understand that.
That's gonna be terrible.
But that's the thing, Shiroi. There are developers that actually are capable of.
Kojima, if he was still working at Konami, he'd only be working on Metal Gear.
I
Yeah,
don't like
If
working
he's
on the same
lucky.
thing for 1 week.
that's the thing, Shiroi. Believe it or not, Shiroi, there are 2 specific developers that I respect a lot for actually being able to surpass that issue. Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, who has only worked on Mortal Kombat since the first game, and he continues to this day, and Yuji Ori, the creator of Dragon Quest.
Justice?
Well, yeah, true, that's also interesting. Although those games are very much Mortal Kombat games with DC
Injustice is
reskins.
more or less Mortal Kombat, but I guess if we're speaking very technically, I guess Injustice counts as another one, but it's more or less just Mortal Kombat in a fresh cut of paint.
Anyway,
Look,
yeah,
let me put it
basically.
like this,
Hope
Wiz.
Warner Brothers doesn't sell off NetherRealm Studios by the time this gets uploaded.
Let me put it like this.
And now
Wiz.
this part is possibly
Injustice-
dated. Thanks, Dej.
Let me put it like this, Dwibs. Injustice is to Mortal Kombat what Little Witching Mischief is to Unholy War.
Yeah, basically, Shiroi, Yuji Ori, the creator of Dragon Quest, ever since the first one, has only worked, and he's still very happy and very enthusiastic about working on Dragon Quest still. So there are developers who are actually willing to dedicate their entire career to one franchise, and I respect a developer that is actually capable of doing that. That's actually pretty rare. But go on.
So he gets to do like other experimental things with Dragon Quest, though, right? Doesn't he work on the spin-offs as well?
Well, that's the thing. Well, when it comes to the Dragon Quest spin-offs, usually he doesn't actually directly work on them. He more supervises them than anything. His actual primary core development team just works on the main ones. The Dragon Quest spin-offs mostly exist because, well, Enix gotta milk it. But anyway, Balan's bout. But yeah, the thing is that even then, Dej, there's still Dragon Quest games, even if they're spin-offs.
Oh boy, one of the ones where we get to fight Lance.
That's the thing, Dej.
These are my favorite of the balance bouts.
Yes, let's check out this one. Okay, there you go, Shiro. Finally, we get to fight Lance, kind of. Not really, but...
I wish these environments look different every time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, the first half of these is easy. It's just that the later half is where the problem begins. Anyway. By the way,
you can do it.
And by the way, Dej, the fights between Balan and Lance in these segments, as the game progresses, become more and more DBZ-ish. I'm not even kidding. There's a little there's a little one. I'm not even kidding you guys, where they're literally throwing key energy at each other.
Hey, how cool would it have been if we could have actually been playing this instead of just restricting it to QTEs?
Yeah.
Do it, Balan! You can do it! Yeah, that's
I just wish that you were playing as Balan for most of the game.
We all do, Dej. We all do.
I don't mind playing as the kids, they just need to be better.
Okay.
It's just like a Knights game.
It's like I said before, this pretty much feels like Knights if you were playing as the kids for most of it.
Don't worry, Shiro. I bet you in 2-3 years we'll get it.
Surprise!
But yeah, Dej, keep in mind, yes.
Punch!
But yeah, Dej, like you said, he gets to supervise Dragon Quest spin-offs like Builders and Heroes, but at the same time, they're still Dragon Quest games. He works on nothing but Dragon Quest.
I mean, some people are satisfied with doing that, but
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I actually find it very respectable that this guy is so enthusiastic about this franchise that he never loses passion for it, and he's perfectly happy.
Pedro, you got all excellence.
Hooray! Anyway, but I find it very cool when a developer is so passionate. When developers like Ed Boon and Yuji Ori are so passionate about their baby franchise that they literally decide, you know what, I'm gonna dedicate my entire career to this franchise just because I don't want to risk anybody else messing with it.
Until I die.
That's an admirable thing, especially considering how rare it is. I will argue.
But yeah. Going up for the balanced bouts where Balan beats the ever-living crap out of Lance, you have to wonder, why are we supposed to fear Lance? In fact, going off of those Balan bouts where you fight Lance, Balan could easily just deck Lance and we'd be done with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so time for Act 2?
You have to.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's keep watching that number go up.
Don't worry, Shiroi. I'm not gonna stand around like a moron, and much less let you guys stand here like morons watching that counter go up slowly.
I just really have to wonder, what kind of game programmer do you have to be to think that players would like to just stand around having to put creatures back on a wheel while watching it, without having anything else to do in the level?
That's a very simple answer to that, Joe. A lazy developer doesn't want to actually put in any effort. There you go.
I would not say lazy is not the word I would use.
Yeah. Like,
how about overly complacent?
Complacent, no. Incompetent, yes.
I would say there is about a complacency as well, but I will agree with you, Dej, that lazy is not one of the words I'd give to this game. For the most part, anyway. There are some bouts of actual laziness, but no, laziness is not the dominating problem of this game.
I do like the design of this place, at least.
Yeah, that's exactly what I keep meaning, Shiro. Oshima's art direction...
It's a family movie, I don't know why.
Yeah, Oshima's character designs and art direction are still on point even after all these years. That's what saves the game's graphics from being so boring. Like, yes, the textures are boring, but the art direction is just so good.
Not only that, but this is one of the levels that does a better job telling a story. That you'll be able to reflect on when you actually know what the story of this chapter is.
Again, why couldn't the opening cutscene be right before Act 1 instead of before the boss? It makes no sense to pace the story this way.
Again, like, did Naka think that we'd forget what the story would be after that one cutscene? Like, here's an idea, why not sprinkle cutscenes throughout? And you know, here's what's real frustrating about this. It wasn't like he was on a limited budget or anything. No. Square were backing him 100% on this. For the caveat that this would be his last chance. So he could have used all that help from Square to his disposal.
That's the problem. He didn't
Just
want
chose
to.
Not to.
That's exactly the problem. Remember, Joe, this is Yuji Naka we're talking about. The guy who just wants everything to be done his way. He's not. That's the problem. He's not a team player. He just wants to do everything his way, and God forbid anybody tells him otherwise. That's the problem.
This is one of the more heartbreaking elements. You're like, look, the typical problem with the game is usually there were problems with executives. They couldn't reach the deadlines or whatnot.
Also, that little girl looks so cute design-wise.
She does, yeah. Hey, if it's any consolation, she's more of a main character in the book here. She is Cassandra, and believe it or not, in the book, she's more of a main character than Emma is. Like I mentioned, Emma's more like Balan's glorified assistant in the novel here. No, Cassandra is someone who actually has more knowledge of what's going on in the level here. And she helps Leo deal with some of his problems in the book here and there. It also helps
I'm late for an important date.
Yes. Chrono Bunny is an outfit that actually it's one of my favorite ones because it's one of the more creative ones, I will argue.
Is it Chaos Control?
No. Well, kind of. Here's how it works. You find a time gate, and it will and will allow you to stop the action that's right in front of said gate. I'm gonna demonstrate in a few seconds. I'm just trying to see if I can find something else in the meantime.
Just punch the. Thank you.
Exactly. I just wish I could have multiple actions, but anyway. This thing just gives you a Tim egg, so I don't care. Moving on. There's a tier here.
Come on, Tio, don't you want to go to the Chow Garden?
I'm afraid.
Tio's not here.
I'm afraid.
Yes, it's a mistake. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yeah, you go for the gate and you stop the platforms in time. So basically, if you want to get through certain parts of these sections, make sure you stop the platforms right at the right part of their pattern that will be convenient for you. So it's actually an interesting idea for a gimmick.
It's Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Believe it or not, this power-up would be great for the storytelling of this chapter again. Because again, you can tell there are two main themes of this level, time and traffic lights. You'll figure out what that means when we see the story of it, but believe it or not, the way that power-up works could actually work well with the story of it. The problem is this. It's only stuff that you'll think about after seeing the story of it. And because the story is only told to you at the bare end of it, chances are if you're playing this, say, mid-game...
Fuck. That's okay. That's okay. I can just get another one.
In Super Mario Galaxy 2, there's a level that allows you to stop time, but you have to stomp a button.
Yeah. Basic. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Galaxy 2 was made by a much more talented development team.
I mean, yeah. This was made by the guys who gave us Hey Pikmin and Yoshi's New Island, which is a bad game, by the way.
That's just a big problem. If they really wanted this game, this game is kind of a repeat of what happened with Recore. If they really wanted this game to succeed, they should have given it not only a bigger budget, but and also a much better development studio.
I'm sorry, but our
Hold on, Dej. I have to mention this now. It's funny you mentioned Recore, Pedro, because this game is also a repeat of another concept, or should I say concept. Basically, you remember how with Mighty No. 9, Concept weren't actually the ones developing that game.
Oh yeah, Armature Studio, I know.
That was another, that was another studio doing it.
Well, remember, Jova.
No.
Well, remember, Jova.
Pedro, the company that did Mighty No. 9 was Inti Creates, not Armature.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Recore. Hold on, Joe. I have to introduce this outfit. This, I'm sure, is going to be one of Shiroi's favorites. Aircat.
Huh.
Basically, Shiroi, this is one of the best outfits in the game because it allows you to break the game. I'm not even kidding you. Just hold the button during jump and you'll be able to float for quite a good while, meaning you'll be able to get to places you wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. Some parts...
You can float through the air.
I'm not even kidding you, I'm not even kidding you, Shiroi. There are plenty of level sections, even later, that can be easily surpassed and broken thanks to the broken way this outfit is designed.
That said, believe it or not, there's an even more broken version of this one, which you can get in the Ice World.
Yes.
But that's the Ice World related. But hey, on the plus side, you look adorable in this costume.
Also,
seriously, that costume actually does.
that
look
being
adorable.
said, the icon for the outfit itself, as you can see on the top left corner, it looks like a fusion between the little girl and the cat. Is okay.
Yeah, it kind of has to. Oh god, maybe that's supposed to be part of the theme, but yeah. Okay, the girl in this level, Cassandra, is, in the novel, a much more integral character to the theme. She's actually part of what helps Leo and Balan figure out what they need to do as well. Again, she still has her own problems to deal with, as is
Oh, yeah,
mentioned,
that's right.
but she is also... Oh,
I don't think
Okay.
I don't think I described what the pumpkin outfit does. The pumpkin outfit allows you to just throw punches. That's it. Literally throw punches. You literally throw your fists.
are they really seriously bothering throwing the same cutscene with Lance every time? Like,
Yes.
dude, we get it. You're doing a thing. Maybe you could have had a cutscene that has him explain why he's doing this, which the novel does.
The novel actually has a lot, if you aren't aware of it, does she?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Phelan told me.
You can
Look, it's like I
check out
said.
Austin Eruption's video because he did an entire big review of this game and also of the novel. So he basically combos for the entirety of this project, game and novel.
Again, like I said, the novel should have been included with the game, with it being full price at the very least. Like,
Or even
some
better.
Tommy Johnny said.
Or even better, have more cutscenes and have the story be put on the actual game. I remember back when the day when stories of the games were actually put in the games themselves. Whatever.
Maybe the novel is where all the cut content went.
I
That would
guess.
explain a lot.
Anyway, we're done with this world, so it's time to finally see the story of this world.
Oh boy, I know you've got quite a bit to say about that opening cutscene.
Well, actually, no, it's more so the next world that I have a lot to say, but anyway.
Oh, you know, like you mentioned, the implications, quote unquote.
Oh, the ending, yeah, the ending. Don't worry, Joe. I've got my Balan voice prepared for that. Anyway, intro. Kind
So
of.
we have here the story of Cassandra, who apparently lived in England, your neck of the woods, Dubs.
Specifically London, since there's the Big Ben right there.
So apparently she's British. And she had a
Oh,
cat that she
so-
loved very much.
And she has a
Hey,
kitty.
Balan.
Died.
Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen to the kitty.
Oh my god, is this Shiro's backstory?
A car came and, well...
It didn't end well for the cat.
The cat got run over by a car. There you go. See,
hold
Shiroi?
on.
They're ripping off your car watch, Shiroi. There you go.
Okay, believe it or not, you may have noticed she ran away from the car that was about to run over the cat.
Yep.
Now, how do you think we're going to solve this mental anguish, Shiroi?
By beating...
It's another cat.
By beating her monstrous cat form.
Wait, did we see the clown character?
No,
Yeah.
we have not yet.
No, not yet.
Because there is a weird implication about that one,
Oh, Des says it.
and
You want me
and it's
to
connected to this.
Anyway,
Okay,
if I remember
Des,
correctly,
Des,
I
believe
actually...
it or not, that is...
Sorry.
Oh, go on.
No, go ahead. Look at that, he's using the air cat ability.
Jeez.
Yes, that is cute. But believe it or not, Des, I know what you're talking about. And yes, it is confirmed in the novel. Same characters. Time
Okay.
travel.
Yeah.
I'll explain more on that later when we get to that level. But yeah, like I said, Cassandra has way more agency in the novel than she does in the game. Where to the point where she seems more like the female main character than Emma does.
Thank you for telling the story for the game, Jova.
Yeah.
It's I wish it could have actually been
It's
in the
a
game
dirt-
because,
well,
like I
Shiroi-
said, look.
It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it.
And here's the thing, though. That's the thing. The story I'm describing does sound like it would fill the game out well. And yes, it feels like that. But reading it on its own, the format feels like it was tailored to a game. Which, as you can imagine, means it's not as fun to read.
And by the way, the guy who wrote the novel was the guy who wrote Yoshi's New Island, the Yoshi game that Arzest made.
Well, I guess I'll give him credit. The story in the novel is better than Yoshi's New Island story.
There's that
It's
at least.
not hard to do. Dude, Logi's new island was literally suddenly traveling through time and space. King Bowser appeared. Like, what?
Alright, hold on. When he stops time,
Time stop!
if you have Chrono Bunny, however, you will be immune to time stop. So
Oh my god, that's an evil Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of it as well, yeah.
I mean, is it from the same artist?
Yeah, Oshima, yeah.
Yeah, Oshima, yeah.
I'll admit, I kind of like this boss fight. Like, I mean, you know what? Chapter 6 as a whole, I'm fine with.
Oh yeah, both,
Like,
4, 5, and 6 are definitely some of the better chapters that the game has to offer. But after this, we're about to get into the second half of the game, and that's where things start getting problematic.
Chapter 8, if I recall correctly, that's the ice one. That one is fine, but yeah, if I recall correctly, all the other levels have some major problems going through them in the second half of the game.
There you go.
Honestly, if every other level was on the level of quality that chapters 4, 5, and 6 were, would have been probably a notably better game. Time's running out for you!
It probably would have gone from a D- to a D.
C-.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm D.
D+?
I'm sticking to it. D.
Alright, dance time?
No.
Aww. Seriously, maybe they cut it out, but it always looks like the other ones are offering for a romantic dance. It's weird.
Which becomes a big problem in the level with the fireman.
Yes.
Let me guess, the character we saved there is like 40.
Well, I don't know his age, but he's definitely an adult.
You know, this might have been more adorable. Like, for as generic as the music may be, I actually kind of get a kick out of her array. It's just that the characters sometimes look so much like puppets. And how the hell can they dance this well, anyway?
Alright, now we're about to get the ending, and I find the ending, let's just say the ending,
Okay.
let's just say the ending,
So-
don't get me wrong, I think the ending doesn't really want to convey what I think it's conveying, but it still kind of comes across as that to me, but...
So how do we deal with the fact that the cat died? How do we deal with the mental anguish of death? How
But
does
first,
she
she
cope
goes
with
to
it?
its funeral.
You see, the way she copes with it is the fact that the cat's alive.
Turns out the cat didn't naturally die. So,
No, no,
thi-
no, no,
Gets
so,
ran over.
so this was a complete non-issue, apparently.
Okay, so believe it or not, in the novel...
Hold on, Jova. Okay, and now allow me, as I'm about to molest this girl. Seriously, the
Oh
way...
no, he's secretly Dan Schneider. Get away!
Seriously, the way he was all like closing the door and then he winks at the audience, like, Balan, please don't molest a little girl, please.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a fun fact. Not only is Cassandra tied in with Chapter 9, but according to the novel, she's also tied into the Ice chapter as well. But again, I can't explain that yet without... What am I talking about spoiling? There's barely any plot in this game.
Now,
It
please
technically wouldn't be-
wait though anyway, just so we can...
Yes, I will wait though for it to be relevant. Like, again, there is so much story that I honestly do feel like that the novel is literally this game's script that Naka just left out.
That being said, my work here is done. Again.
Oh boy.
You did nothing again.
Oh, goody! So we have chapters 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so 8's a good chapter, but 7 and 9... Oh boy.
You know, it's like, Joe, the way you phrase that sentence then, it's like this is a Square Enix game, it's like the inverse of Final Fantasy around that time. 7 and 9 are considered good, but 8 is more,
Yeah. So Shiroi, what do you
Honestly, now 8 is one of the better ones in this particular bout.
what do you think Balan did to the little girl?
I don't want to think about it. I'm just hoping he just closed the door and that was it.
I don't know, Shiroi. This is the way he had that creepy smile on his face, and how like it's just.
he always has that
He
creepy
always
smile on
has
his
that
face.
smile.
What do you think, Jova? Is the little girl, is Cassandra safe at least? Does the book explain what he does to?
According to the novel, he congratulates Cassandra, and she goes on to help Leo
okay.
out with the other problems.
You know, Naka, maybe if he put some fucking text and stuff and speech sometimes in these cutscenes so I know what the fuck is going on, maybe I wouldn't have to fill in gaps with context with my dirty mind. Just saying. Anyway, tune in next time, everybody, for
prepare yourself.
Chapter 7.
7 comes out.
Chapter 7 is one that has one of my favorites, just because it actually has one of the most misguided endings. Let's just say the ending, I can tell what the ending is going for, but the way it's conveyed, it makes it come across as something else. Tune in for that, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.